Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Dead Unicorn. My name's Corey, and today we're playing Dungeons & Dragons Spelljammer, which is Dungeons & Dragons in space. Don't think that space in D&D world it has anything to do with science or any. It's all weird and magicy and crazy, but you'll get it. You watch an episode or two, you'll understand. My name is Corey. Like I said, we are joined with Howard, our game master, Brenna, Keith, and Sarah. And Sarah's got a little problem. This is why we're starting late today. We have a little technical issue with Sarah's microphone, and we have not solved it. It sounds like poop. Sarah, you want to say hi? No, just show the folks what they're in for.
Okay, I muted myself. Sounds bad.
There you go. So we're gonna try and keep her as like she'll be in the chat, so you can see the chat log over here, and hopefully we can get through this without hearing
Sonic
Sarah's
damage.
voice. Unfortunately, it's a tragedy, really. We all love you, Sarah.
At least she's not playing a bard character.
Sarah's
She got
playing
Thunderwave, like, no problem.
Sarah's playing Eudora. She is a Harengon, which is a rabbit creature. She's playing a fighter, which is a person who fights. And she has some trouble. She's wanted by a wizard who apparently she's a clone of, a magical clone. We have Brenna. Brenna, talk to us about your character.
Um, she's easily distracted. She's a fairy and the artificer of the group, but often forgets tools and other things until she goes, "Oh, look what I have!" and pulls out a random widget that is like, "Where did that come from?" Shh, you don't want to know.
It's not just random stuff that you forget in your pack. It's also spells that you know and
Well, she doesn't notice that.
abilities?
Her first solution, though.
like you'd forget you had wings. I'm sure.
It only happened once.
Keith, tell us about Del Starwin.
I sometimes swear Dell's the sane one in the group.
Lies.
Well, I mean, I've got Tinker and Eudora to contend against. I definitely think I'm the calmer one in there. Del Starwind is an astral elf. He's a escapee, I suppose you could say, from the astral navy. And he's a druid. He's used to take care of the living ships in the navy before he decided that this was no longer for him.
All right. I play Ramush Beetlejuice. Just call him Beetlejuice or Captain Beetlejuice. It's all great. He's the captain of our ship, the Melina. He is also an astral elf. He is a ranger with a whip and does lots of whip attacks. He's a shield and whip kind of guy. And he does really well with that combo. Yeah, Dell is the sane one. Beetlejuice is pretty sane. It's just he comes up with the weirdest plans. He thinks he knows best. He doesn't. But it's always a fun time. It's always a fun time. Howard's our game master.
Yeah.
Take it away, Howard.
All right, with all of that. All right, so last time we left this motley assembled heroes, they were, how to put this? They had to take someone to the hospital or to a temple to be healed, but managed to instead freak out the guards because they had her tied up under a tarp in a wagon and looked very much like they were kidnapping her. And rather than explain to the guards what exactly was going on, they tried to hide it. They failed to hide it, and the guards knew something was up. And when they tried to press further, they attacked the guards, because that's the best way to always handle things, is kill those extra guards. Yes, the Harengon was mostly responsible for attacking the guards, and I know she wants to say that she did it.
Well, technically, Tinker did try and tell them that she was possessed, but nobody ever pays attention to the tiny flying person.
all
I
good.
mean, I think your spin on it is a little bit different than our understanding of it, but
So, you made it to the temple. You got the possession taken care of. An exorcism was run. Well, there were complications, but you dealt with them all. And your noble captain attempt to take the heat and get arrested for you. Then he found out that wasn't going to work, so he ducked out and ran off. Which, of course, now has started a citywide search by the guards for you guys. But he made it back to your one underworld contact. I mean, perfectly above board contact. Who was happy to take a large 500 gold piece gem as payment to take care of all of your issues with the guards. And meanwhile, he also has set you up with a new crew for your ship. And as you were all just making it, I believe you all were making it to the Boulder's Tavern to meet your crew and gather up and talk about what's going on right when we ended the last game. I didn't get a chance to rewatch, but I think that's about where we left off.
sounds about right.
All right, so I believe the only one that was already there was Beetlejuice. You've already met the crew of new people, and then everybody else is walking in, so you can make the introductions.
They were all kind of wondering, like, how are they going to save me from the guards now, because they think I'm with the guards, and then they walk into the bar, and there I am.
Norm!
All right. So with him, unfortunately, I am not at home today, so I don't have. I've been searching my email and I cannot find the saved page with your crew. I know they exist. I know you met them. I know that there was an elven artificer. There is a guy who's in charge of ranged weaponry, basically, and he's also really good with a ballista, who is a Thrycreen named Right Click. And I know that there is a dwarven battle rager barbarian who is literally from the planet that you can see from the Rock of Brawl, depending on where on the Rock of Brawl you are. And he's his first time in space, but not his first time getting in a fight. He's excited to go. And I believe there was one other guy, and I can't remember who or what he was.
Wasn't there a Thrycreen?
So, guys,
Right Click is the Thrycreen. I said him.
Okay.
We need to get a catapult for our dwarf. If we've got a dwarf battle rager and we can just launch him over to another ship in a catapult, I think that's just the cat's pajamas.
Well, he'll need a grapple gun too, just in case we miss. So it's like, oh, there he got.
He's a battle rager,
and then
I don't think he needs anything more than that.
No,
I'm sorry. Are we all just going to ignore the fact that he just used the phrase "cat's pajamas"?
Yes, I like that phrase.
Because I'm just like,
I'm just saying.
Tabaxi looks offended.
Nothing against the battle rager. I'm saying if we shoot him with the catapult, and we miss the ship we're aiming for, he
can always reach out and grab a sail or something.
Well, that's why I'm like, we should get him like a grappling hook. So if we miss, he can always shoot the grappling hook and pull him onto the ship that we're firing at him.
It's
Get
like
him spiked armor so that if he hits the hull, he'll just stick to it and he can climb up.
Now you're thinking.
He has spiked armor.
Of course he does. He's a battle rager.
Oh my god!
So he can give lethal hugs.
That's what it looks like. They just grab you and start. It's like you were like just mauled by a cheese shredder afterwards. It's awful.
I played that character when I was like a teenager. I know exactly what you can do with a battle rager.
I also played that character as a teenager.
So
not this specific one, but definitely there's inspiration.
No. So you guys all come in. I guess I see you, and I say, "Hey, hi mates, come on over."
Okay.
I'm glad you made it out.
I guess I turned back to Dell now, because I had been wild shaped.
That's
Oh,
true.
I guess I don't recognize you
look
then.
Like a mouse.
I guess
No, but
I
you
had been
recognize
wild
the
shaped
fairy
into a
he's
mouse
riding.
so that
yeah,
Tinker could
Tink.
carry me.
I recognize Tink. Tink, come on over. Oh, well, there's Dell too. Didn't recognize you
I
there.
got rid of you for finally.
What'd you say?
Dora also is walking in, for the record.
What'd you say, Tink?
I thought we got rid of you finally.
Oh, I'm pretty hard to get rid of, I'll have to say. You can try your best, but you're with me for the long haul, Tink. So, did what's his name? Johnny Lodestone get you out?
No, we got ourselves out.
Oh, good.
Um,
Okay. Excellent. Well,
I believe.
All right. Eudora says, just so you know, looks like an alkalite right now from the temple, but she makes it a point to let all of you know that she is her.
until the beholder looks at her.
With the two, she walked out with the two autonomes because they were looking for.
That's right. She also has Heskis and Nomus with her, so that's another giveaway.
And then the beholder looks at her, and she becomes her.
That's a good point. When you walk in, that would fade away. I forgot. Thank you, Corey, for that reminder. Anti-magic zones are so fun.
And I'm like, Eudora and Nomus and what's the woman's name? Oh, Hestus. Oh, you look so much better, Hestus. You look great. She's good. She's good now, right? She's good. She's fine.
I think so.
Okay, good. We'll keep an eye on her.
It seems to take.
Something else happens that I feel like y'all would notice immediately that I hadn't thought of before just now. They walk in, you greet them, as Eudora becomes Eudora, and after a moment, Nomus falls over.
The magic battery.
The magic battery is turned off. And Heskis immediately freaks out and goes to help him, but you can't really CPR somebody back to life and they are dying.
We can get him outside so that Tinker and Heskis can work on him.
Okay. Tinker, you can have advantage because you have Heskis helping. And
because we weren't able to get
it back online?
able to get a proper restoration dumped onto him before we left. So
I say,
never happened.
Del, what's going on? What's happening, Del?
I think the anti-magic field shorted out the magic battery that Tinker had put into him.
Okay.
So
we weren't able to look. We just got her restored. We didn't have the extra cash flow to get the restoration cast on him as well at that point, especially not with all the thorns happening in that moment.
Also, of your new crew, the elven woman with the replaced eye and hand, it looks intrigued at the entrance of the auto gnomes, and one falls down. She will also get up and head that way. I know Tinker's like, don't step on my thing. That's my thing.
Tinker is
who's the one
going to
one-handed elf?
She is part of your new crew, the candidates for your crew that you were going to interview and decide if you wanted any or all of them to join you. And she is a demolitions expert and also an expert in like large weaponry, like ship cannons. But at the moment, she's going to go check on the falling down autodome because it's still fascinating to any artificer.
Tinker, you were about to say?
Tinker's probably going to call out to the beholder. I forget his name in real life.
Luigi. He's Mario's brother.
Is probably going to be like, is there any way to like basically make him not affected by the anti-magic stuff? Like give him a pass so that way, he can live.
We just got to take him outside or out of the out of the beam of the.
Well, I meant so that way
Luigi's
he
big
could
eye
come in. But
well, basically, he thinks into your head because he communicates mostly by telepathy with all the patrons. If you bring him in, and then I can't look in certain directions in my bar, I can't run my bar. So sorry. Your friend can't come in. It's nothing personal.
You have 10
She's
other
like, that's
eyes wiggling all
discrimination,
over the
Luigi.
place. Luigi, you have 10 eyes that can wiggle all over the place that don't create an anti-magic field. We're not hindering you.
Right, I have 11 eyes to see in every direction in the bar. The main eye looking at the entrance. I do a lot of things with my eyes. I do not judge you for your lack of extra eyes.
Exactly.
We'll
That's
get
why
to-
she's like, this is
Let's get
discrimination.
Nomus back to the ship and resting.
I don't know if that's a good idea. We should wait until Johnny Lodestone comes back and says it's, cricket to go places.
Let's get him to the apartment that we'd been renting for.
There you go. That sounds like a better idea. But let's turn him back on.
And in the meantime, Kablooey there. Do we trust her to be looking him over?
Look, mate, come here. Can I talk to you over here? Come here. Come on.
Meanwhile, Tinker, you are helping the dying gnome, yes?
Yes.
The dying gnome. All right,
Yes.
go ahead. You have the new artificer and Hesketh's helping you, so you have advantage.
Okay.
Make a check.
Get
with
him
your tinker
outside
tools.
first,
Hey,
so that
what
he's
am I
out of the
rolling?
anti-magic
Oh, yeah, of course.
field.
Your tinker tools. That's going to be if it doesn't give you the option to do it, it should give you the option to roll your tinker tools and then pick intelligence as the appropriate stat. And with a 25, you easily are able to just jump it and get it started right back up. It's with a 25, it's almost like you're just like, I just need to turn it back on. It's no big deal.
Yeah.
And he, takes a deep breath and his eyes come back open. And he looked around. What happened?
Unfortunately, you can't go into the bar, buddy.
Okay.
Let's just hang out here.
Hesketh is consoling him and assuring him that everything's going to be fine. She's looking at you like pleadingly, like, we have to get him somewhere to be really healed.
But Tinker's like, yes, but the entire freaking police force is out to get us.
It's like, back to the temple.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Meanwhile, back inside the bar.
I go, hey, Dale. I hope you got some
Yeah.
money left, because I had to spend that little gem I had that I keep in reserve for our legal troubles. So basically, I had Johnny. I paid off Johnny to get rid of all of the charges against us, and I hope it works. And he comes back and he says we're all clear to go, but we ain't got no money to for this crew now.
I still got a little bit in my own pocket here that.
All right, we're gonna need a job quickly, but we also have this Nautilus to deal with before we even get out of dock. So we still got that problem.
So. Yeah, that Nautilus is going to be a challenge, isn't it? Have we, Blight? Have we looked at, or has anybody gone to check on our ship since we headed out? I know we'd left Quijos and Solo
Sano.
Sano minding it while we headed out, but we should probably check in on them, make sure that everything's the way it should be.
I hear you. We really gotta wait until Johnny comes back. If we go there before we get this matter cleared up, we might just be thrown right back in a cell.
Hang on, though. Eudora has the ability to be somebody else. What if we get her to go check in on that?
All right, that's
Yeah.
fair.
Just kind of and check back with us after.
We'll bring Adora over to our little powwow. See what she's saying.
She looks like she wants to speak. You feel like the thoughts are forming.
I'm seeing it
The
right
words are
now.
Almost there.
We're getting there.
I have one spell slot left. You guys ask so much of me. It is a lot to do to deal with all this.
Maybe, do you got any wild shaping? You can, like, be a mouse or something.
Do I look like a druid?
No, I'm talking to Dell.
Oh, okay.
1 sec.
I mean, not that druids look like anything in particular.
You look like the game master. You can do whatever you want, I'm sure.
Sorry, my
That wasn't a
keyboard's
whisper.
underneath stuff.
That wasn't a whisper, but that's all right.
I believe I'll have a bunch of spells left.
Well, I'm just about out of spells for the day as well. But we do need to check on the boat, check on the ship, and I mean, the likelihood of Kihos flying off at the handle at those mind suckers, flayers, is pretty good, and that would just leave Sano, and who knows if they'd made any kind of concerted effort at all, we might have lost the ship. So we should we need to check in on that.
Well, if you want to have Adora use her last spell, that's... Otherwise, I suggest, you going down there and making turning into a little animal that's native to the rock, which would probably be just like rodents. I haven't seen a bird, have I? Howard, are there
Have you seen a bird?
Are there birds on the Rock of Brawl?
I'm gonna say there are because there are trees and wildlife. So yeah, I don't see why there wouldn't be
Let me
birds.
see here.
There's
Have I
probably
used it once or twice in the last 24.
there's probably dogs. You could be a dog.
Honestly, I have not been keeping track of your uses of it. Sorry.
Yeah, I think I've only used it the once. So, because I only get 2 uses per long rest. Pretty sure I've only used it the once. So, okay. Yeah, I can go check it out myself
And as y'all are working that
as a
out,
critter.
back out front with Hesketh, Nomus, and Tinker, and the artificer elf, Tinker, you see coming kind of up the wharf from a distance, 4 guys that are looking fairly disciplined, like they're walking like they're not like your typical drunks. They're not looking like workers, and they're dressed like Dell. Walking in this way, they stop at a few locations and they look inside the building. They come out and they keep on walking.
Tinker says to the gnome, "Stay here. Stay out of trouble." She goes to find Dell, and what she does is she's basically gonna whisper into his ear, going like, "Would there be people maybe looking for you other than the guards?"
Why?
There's some people out there searching the place that look a lot like you.
Look like me? How? Like Ramush looks like me?
Like, dressed like you?
To be fair, they are also elven. I should say that.
Yeah,
Well-
she's also like, they're elves, they're dressed like you. I don't know.
The dressed like you is the key component here.
Yeah.
You know what? This might be a really good time to go check on the ship.
Yeah, that's what
I'm going to turn into a raven. Like, I'm going to step out back, turn into a raven, and go do that.
There's no like back exit from the tavern, but you can. But there,
I just need to not be seen by them.
okay. There's enough room in the entryway because the beholder isn't directly facing it like dead on perpendicular to the as you're walking in. Like he's a little off to one side. So if you walk to the entrance and duck down, you could roll out as a raven and then fly upward.
Yeah, good enough.
I assume you were trying not to be turned back off by the beholder.
Pretty much. Although I don't know that wild shape counts as a magical effect in the way that his anti-magic thing would cancel, but I don't want to take the chance.
That's fair. And honestly, I don't know. I'd have to look that one up.
Exactly. And right now, I don't need the bookkeeping, so I'm just... Plus, I don't want to step outside and be seen by all these Navy elves, so there's that too. So yes, turn into a raven, fly off to the ship.
Okay. You do that. You can, as you're flying to the ship. I mean, if you look, you do see some. I mean, you're at a distance, but you do see people that are wearing uniforms that you recognize. I mean, you're not close enough to be like, Dave, I know you, but you do see that they are definitely part of the Astral Navy there.
Yeah, I do not want to actually have any level of interaction with them.
All right, then. You fly towards the ship, and the ship is where it's supposed to be.
To the ship. Excellent. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna, check in the ship, make sure. Basically, I'm doing the rounds of the ship, making sure that nothing looks untoward or amiss. Go inside if I can, etc. Maintaining my form.
As you're double checking, I'll allow you to pick perception or investigation, whichever's higher. I think for you it's perception.
Perception, it definitely is. That's wisdom based as opposed to intelligence.
Yeah. You divine casters in your wisdom. Oh, look at you! Didn't matter because you are the guy who notices the things with your raven eye. Do Raven give you any like heightened bonuses? Is it even higher?
I don't think so.
Oh, that's too bad.
I mean, we could take the time to look it up, but I'm willing to just go with what I normally have. Besides, right. your mental stats in wild shape don't change.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
You're thinking polymorph where it does.
Yeah. All right. So you look around, and as you look around, you notice with that, like everything is where it's supposed to be. You don't see any signs of sabotage, but there are things that are only because you got a 25. There are things that are just like slightly out of place, like the chair is not as close to the desk type things. Or you're like, it looks different, but it doesn't look like it's been ransacked or anything. If somebody might have been here, it could have been one of your crewmates, could have been Sano, or that Quijos fellow. But you do notice that things aren't in exactly the right places. But I'm gonna say that as you're looking through, you're not gonna see anything that is like, oh, this is a bomb, or hey, somebody stole the thing. It's everything's where it should be. Nothing new appears to be added. But but with that, I will say that you do notice, unless somebody else has just been here, which is possible, things have been moved. But that doesn't mean that one of the people that didn't move them.
That's what I was going to say. Like, does it look like they're moved because my two buddies are on board and they just normally move things, or does it look like they were moved in a weird way?
No, it's like, like if you live with roommates and you're like, I left my stuff on the couch and I come back and my stuff's on the desk, and you're like, that's Carl. Carl is always putting my stuff over there. I really wish he'd just stop touching my stuff. It's that kind of thing. Like,
yeah.
The stuff's been moved just enough that And that now you're kind of like probably because like again you got nat 20. I'll give you that you can like kind of start going through your head going, Sano doesn't ever really mess with anything. In fact, as far as you know, he hadn't really been in the ship other than with you guys once. Since you've been here, the rest of the time he's been at that apartment you got him. Kihos has been getting drunk AF and hanging out a lot with Sano, who's also been getting very drunk. They may need an alcoholics meeting. And then, the rest of the crew's been dealing with Heskis and Nomis. That was a mess. There was combat here, but the stuff you're noticing moved. Like maybe you're just not sure, but you have a feeling. Like maybe somebody came through here, but you don't know for sure.
Right. I guess this one will have to count as an investigation. I'm going to start investigating more closely throughout the ship just for other sign of
Okay. If you
of
gotten
concern.
if you just like whipped out another nat 20, it'd be like, well, here's the plot on this detail. Here you go. Have all the stuff. All right. You're investigating, and I'm going to come back to you real quick because that takes a while to actually kind of go through. But I do have an answer for you.
Okay.
We'll cut back to Tinker, Eudora, and Beetlejuice. You three are still inside the bar. What are y'all up to? Because outside the bar is all NPCs at the moment. Heskis, Nomis, the Artificer.
I go to Adora and be like, I don't know the significance of whatever's happening. But Dell seems very... I'm glad he's going to check the ship because he seems very nervous about it. Not sure what we can do right now. I feel like we just need to sit still and talk to these guys because they're going to be our new mates, maybe, perhaps. I got these contracts here.
All right.
We can have them sign these things, right, Adora?
In the paperwork that you would have been given, it does have a contract for each one of them. And then there's an additional one at the bottom. It's basically like a sign-up sheet for unskilled laborers. And you have 10 signatures on there of people that have agreed to show up tomorrow morning and be ready to interview, to be like mooks. You got like 10 mooks that'll work on your ship doing, tying up the rigging, swabbing the deck, and, dying left and right whenever you get attacked.
Howard, I have the evil contracts.
Oh, okay.
You remember the evil contracts? I had them print them all up because I'm an idiot and I don't know their evil contracts.
Oh, that's true. That's true. I forgot about that. I was thinking maybe I had told you that I had written down paperwork, and I'm like, sure, why not?
You did
And I
not.
was trying to run with it.
You did not. I have evil contracts from Hestus.
From your evil computer. No, not Heskis. It's from the computer. Like Heskis can tell you how to operate it, but it's the computer that's putting out the evil contracts, not her.
Yes. And I have no idea if they're magically binding or anything. I don't know. I was just like, excellent, we have contracts.
All right, then I will go ahead and add in that detail because that was something I meant to say last game and I knew I forgot. Is that there are like 10 additional mooks that have been agreed to like come and be on your ship, but they are considered unskilled labor. The people you're meeting now are the specialists.
Right. So we have 10 swabbies.
Swabbies, mooks, whatever you want to call them. Putties, I don't care.
I just put them down as 10 sailors in my notes.
All right. Come on, Joel, let's meet these new potential mates. Right?
They're good pirates because each one has a different handicap. One has a patch, one has a peg leg, one has a hook, one has wounds on his shoulder from an overactive parrot.
So we're disabled friendly.
I believe all pirate gangs have to be. All right.
I mean, that's why we have a plank. It's wheelchair accessible. It's wheelchair.
The dwarf is just like,
Yes, Sarah. I do have the money to pay them.
I actually, she's talking to me in character, and I said, "Yeah,
Oh.
Del says he had." That was the first question I asked, considering what just happened to us.
The battle raging dwarf, is, at least that's what you've been told he is looking at y'all like, I can't wait. I want to get out there. I want to get on the ship. I want to go. Is it tomorrow that we're leaving? Because if not, tell me. But if it is, I have a lot of things to do.
So we
I
got.
have some meat to eat, some things to drink.
So right now we're waiting for Johnny to come back and give me the all clear that we can go back to our ship.
All right.
But in the
Exciting, I
meantime, we have some contracts for you to sign.
guess. Sure. No problem. I can sign my name.
Excellent.
It's
And
an X.
I put down the stack of papers, and I look at Adora. I say, before we get these contracts, Adora, do you have any problems with any of these potential mates here? I wish Del was here. I wish Tink was here. But we're dealing with lots of problems.
Tink is there.
Is she?
I thought I was making sure that the gnome got back safely to the ship.
To the apartment.
Oh, I missed that. My apologies.
Not to the
You
ship,
know what?
to the
I
apartment.
missed that too. And I probably shouldn't have. So I apologize. All right.
Because Tinker came in to warn me about the elves coming.
Yeah, I remember
And
that.
that was the last I'd heard.
Because maybe it's time to get back to the ship. And I said, that's a good idea. I'd better make sure that the auto gnomes are safely settled in the ship.
Okay.
If
So
you
you're
go
gonna
back
go
to the
watch
ship
the
with
gnomes
those
back.
auto gnomes, that's like dangerous. We told you this before. We said don't go back there. Go to the apartment.
It's up to you.
But Tink is Tink.
You tell me where you're going.
But she's thinking about what would be best for the auto gnomes.
One of them desperately needs healing. If you don't want to go back to the Temple District for obvious reasons, you could use the ship and go back to that other place, the moon of Toril there, Saloon, where you have a whole bunch of healers on hand that will
Just
totally
take off
help
with
you.
the ship, leave everyone behind.
That's what I'm saying. You should skip out on the party to heal your auto gnome friend. They'll get over it. They trust you. It'll be fine. They won't be at all surprised or
There's
annoyed.
also the squid faces, so she would take them to the apartment then, probably,
Good.
because she's not so worried about them getting picked up
All right.
by the cops.
I like the idea that as you're flying away with the ship, there's like one Elithid just hanging on the back of the ship, like, oh no! Oh no! I thought I was being stealthy. This didn't work out at all.
What are you talking about,
My life choice.
Howard? That's always like the to be continued at the end of like a sci-fi thing where, we've gotten away and the ship floats away from the, and you see an external shot, but there's like one of the creatures attached to the side still.
Big Trouble
That's
in
for the
Little
season
China.
ender.
Well, Big Trouble in Little China ended with at the back of the rig, the weird Yeti monster that was down there like comes out, is looking around while he's doing his Jack Burton on the walkie-talkie thing.
The
CB radio.
When it comes to a night like this, I always remember what old Jack Burton says. Jack Burton says the check is in the mail. So good, so funny.
I haven't seen
that is my favorite
more
movie
years
of
than
all
I want to
time.
think.
And that to me is what Beholders must have looked like, because when I was a kid, there was a thing floating around with tentacles and with eyes on the end and one big eye. That I was like, that's a beholder.
It
That's
didn't have
clearly a beholder.
It did not have tentacles. It just was an orb with lots of eyes.
Eye stalks.
It didn't have stalks. No. Nope. It had a tongue that came out with an eye on the end of it, though.
Ugh, that's even worse than I remember.
Yeah. It did have one central eye, but it didn't have eye stalks at all. It was just eyes in its like orby head with an eye on its licky tongue.
They were little stalks, but they were stalks.
I'm telling you, man.
I'm looking at it. The internet is that cool. I can just pull it up.
I was about to say, just Google it.
I'm looking at it. He has little eye stalks. He also has one in his mouth, and that's super gross too. That is more horrific, actually, than I remember, but they are stalks. I forgot about the tongue one. Blech.
Oh yeah, they are little tiny stalks. They're very little tiny stalks. Okay.
Ah. Both right, but also both wrong.
Because the whole thing is just wrong.
So I choose to believe that while we are both wrong, you are more wrong, and we're both right, and I'm more right.
All right.
Even if it's inaccurate, it's accurate.
I guess I'll just pass out the contracts and get the people to the ship. As soon as Johnny comes back, we'll say we got it all taken care of, or thanks, Johnny, and we'll trust you. And
Okay. Did y'all want to just hire the whole crew that he found for you, or did you want to be like, let me to see if I like these people? It's up to you.
I'll do an insight check on each of them.
Okay,
How's
cool.
that sound?
That sounds good to me. There is a dude who's like a really good fighter. You can start with him.
All right.
He's like, natural one. This guy
does
is
Adora-
attracted to you.
Does Adora want to help me with these interviews for the insight check so we can get...
You can thumbs up or thumbs down. We can also see you. Thumbs up.
Awesome.
You have advantage.
Excellent.
All right. The fighter guy seems like a solid fightery type guy.
All right. I'll give him an evil contract.
Evil contract.
Jack Sparrow questions. Yes, definitely.
He's going to take a moment and actually read it. Your fighter guy can read. He's not the dwarf.
Is that the Thrycreen?
No, actually, I believe he's human. Like I said, that unfortunately my notes on the crew are on
I've
my
got-
desktop.
I've got an elf artificer, a dwarf battle rager, and a Thrycreen ranged guy.
That's it. There can't be two artificers. We're gonna no.
Yeah, there was
Check it
another
out.
one. There was a regular fighter guy. I'm like 100%. I'm gonna say 80% certain. And
I mean, I can add that to my list. I just didn't remember you saying him.
okay, I mean I don't know. Like my notes are at my house, and I'm not at my house.
They're in your other cloak.
They're in my other cloak. I brought the hood.
Okay, I
All
marked
right.
down a human fighter. All
All right.
good.
So, he reads the thing. So while he's reading, it's taking a while because that contract that gets printed out is long and convoluted,
Yeah.
and you can actually like see his face starting to like change shapes. He's like, seriously? What the actual F?
Investigation
Huh.
check.
All right. So you want to do the Thrycreen next?
Sure.
The dwarf or the woman?
We'll do the elven woman next.
All right.
She's the artificer, demolitions person,
Yes.
right? Yeah.
That's the one.
I think there should be a second mechanic. I am adamant about that.
Okay.
I don't care what
Yes.
Tink says.
I was confused for a second. I think like a second game mechanic beyond insight. No. You mean a second mechanic on the ship. All right.
Hey. Got a good read on her.
All right. With a 19, as y'all are asking her like this rapid fire interview questions, you will pick up that nothing about her seems like she would be disloyal. You don't get the impression she wants to sabotage your ship or, run off with all your treasures or anything. You do get the impression that she might be sadistic. Like she is really excited about making weaponry that will do horrific things.
I like her already.
Did she do a couple of tours with the GIF?
If you ask her, oh well, you're not there.
I do not have a problem with this because she's going to be like a demolitions person. Making weapons for the ship. I'm fine. This is fine.
Okay. Yeah,
Okay, I'll give
Sadistic,
her a contract.
but not problematic in some areas, but problematic in others. She also is a smart cookie, and she's gonna read that
All right.
contract. and
While
make
she's
faces
reading
at
the
it for a while.
contract, we just move on to the next one.
All right, the Battle Rager.
Yeah, sure.
All right. The dwarf. Oh well, go ahead and roll your insight before I just start telling you things.
Sure. Me and
I mean, you
Adora
can roll
talk to the
two
dwarf.
ones, and he could fool you and make you think he's brilliant. Actually, you didn't roll great.
Yeah.
All right. So, as y'all are asking him questions, I'm gonna say, based on those rules, his demeanor is very chaotic. Like he's clearly all about fighting. He's excited to go fight, and you get to a point where you just are losing interest in the interview. Like this conversation isn't going anywhere. He can do the job that you're looking for, but you don't really want to get to know this personality. You're having problems like focusing
I look
on,
at
like,
Dora.
I don't want to know too much about you.
I look at Dora and I say, Dora, we might have long stints where there's no fighting, and this guy might just pick a fight on our ship just to get rid of his boredom. Do you think this guy is a good idea? You like that? Will you
To
keep
be
him
fair,
company?
Eudora is also that creature.
You're gonna keep him company then, right?
Oh God! things
Okay.
happen on the deck of the ship.
He's under you, girl. All right.
I
You
call
passing
him
the
Little
contract?
Spiky Funball.
I look back at the dwarf and I'm like, the lass here likes you, so here's a contract.
All right. I will say with the 10, you are able to tell as he's reading it, you have matched what you need to know, that he is not actually reading, but looking like he's reading and trying to match the expressions of the other two people reading contracts. But he's flipping through the pages much faster, and he doesn't look as upset or weirded out by any of it. He's like, yeah, oh, that's standard. That should
Tinker's
be
added
there.
a note to the contract that says no touching the Tinker's tools upon pain of death.
All right.
It's just the standard boilerplate. Oh, I don't touch boilerplates. They're really hot.
And then as that first fighter dude is signing, you'll notice that the dwarf is signing, and he's side-eyeing the other signature and trying to make his whatever he's doing look like a signature.
Literally copying the signature. Oh my god.
It's not a good copy. Like, he didn't actually make letters.
All right.
Then you have a giant praying mantis with crossbows.
He seems nice. Let's talk to him. Insight roll.
First, I should say that during the interview process, you hear his voice in your head.
I hate that. I have the.
Do you say that? Do you say, "Can you speak out loud"? Or
I do. I say I don't like telepathy, and in fact, I'm wearing a magical item that will stop telepathy.
oh, that's true. You don't hear it. Eudora hears a voice in her head. I did forget about your magic item. Eudora, you hear a voice in your head, and the Thrycreen doesn't enter your head. So unless you say something, he's not speaking. But Eudora, you hear this. So I suppose you should roll without advantage, as you're the only one talking to him. The only fair way to do it.
Yep.
Oh, you tell him to speak out loud? Okay. He goes, and makes like a horrible hissy sound with a bunch of clicks in the middle.
That ain't gonna work. Hey,
Nope.
can he understand what I'm saying? Just nod your head.
Eudora, you hear every word that he's thinking. Of course I understand everything he's saying. We are a
can't-
very intelligent species.
I can't. Whatever he's saying, I don't know.
I'm not sure what it means, but your friend is mentally deaf. Is he okay?
Oh, it's telepathic. Yeah, I don't do telepathy. No, I'm not. My brainwaves are too advanced for that.
So I am out loud role playing a character who's not speaking, while Eudora is a character who is speaking and she is typing it out.
Yes.
Oh my
And
gosh.
When she says she's speaking telepathically, I go, "Oh, I'm too. My brain waves are too advanced for that telepathy stuff." If he can understand me, I think we'll be all right.
I highly doubt this is the case, but fine. he does this, but he has weird like pincer hands. But he turns them, and one pincer comes up at an awkward angle that gives you the impression of a thumbs up, maybe.
Okay. It's like how BB-8 does the lighter thumbs up. Like,
Yes.
Corey, does she know about the magic item? Because I also don't know.
I don't remember. I literally don't know if she knows if I told her about it.
She was here for the shopping episode, wasn't she?
Yeah. So, yeah, maybe, probably. If you want to say that you know about it, then you know about it.
I mean, I think we all know about it, but just thought that you were making stuff up. So
I'm wearing an invisible helmet that stops brain attacks.
I did say that. I think I said that to everybody.
So there's that.
To be fair, it is also called the tinfoil hat.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I obviously lie and say I have like insane brainwaves.
Yeah, absolutely. And he's looking at you, and he's talked to plenty of elves, and this is a first, so he's like, something's up, but he doesn't know what. And I'll say that you know that from your insights. Sure, why not?
Well, she has to make.
Actually, because Sarah didn't roll insight.
Yeah, Sarah needs to make the insight. You need to make the insight roll normal.
Either that, or she needs to learn the Thrycreen language, which will require acquiring mandibles on her face. And disguise self doesn't give you real ones. It won't work.
No, she doesn't have to learn how to speak it, just how to understand it. You know, like Wookiees do. Like when you're talking with a Wookiee. True.
He's our Wookiee.
No advantage because your friend here can't hear it and therefore can't.
I can't help. Can't help you.
But he can try and judge off of the body language and reactions.
Wow. All right. Despite that, though, she actually rolled better than you did with advantage.
yeah, I get that.
All right. You basically this creature, this giant praying mantis, is quite friendly and straightforward. With a 22 on the insight, as you were asking him all these interview questions, you know, like, what would you say is your greatest flaw? Whatever it is, whatever job interview questions you want to throw out there. You get the impression that he wants to work. He explains his backstory a little bit. That he was a slave. He had to win his freedom, and now he basically does rogue things, but to try and help other slaves become free. So he's kind of a Robin Hoodish rogue, and he's very dexterous, and he's basically has the what's it called, the crossbow expert feat. He's big on things that shoot, and also knows a lot about. He also knows a lot about ballista, of which you have one on your ship.
One ballista, 2 cannons.
All right.
Yeah, you have the big main cannon, one regular cannon, and one ballista.
Yeah.
And I'm doing this because I'm picturing the ship and the big main cannon in the middle.
Well, whatever you said to Adora, she likes you, so here's a contract.
And Eudora, you hear, this is a very strange contract. I'm not used to seeing something like this. And he reads it over, says that, are you sure you expect all of us to pledge our lives? I mean, I do want to be a part and all of that, but this is like more than just my life. This is like, you can resurrect me. Did you see this part about you can resurrect me and keep using my body? That's a no.
I just stand there with a dopey smile on my face. I don't know what he's saying. I don't know what he's...
The part in pencil about don't touch the fairy's tools, I'm fine with that. Or I guess it wouldn't be pencil. The part that's been inked at the bottom there, I'm not going to touch your fairy's tools.
I don't know. I don't know what he's talking about. Whoa.
He points at the paragraph in the thing. It's like page 4, subparagraph C.
Oh, hold on. I take out a pen. I take out like a I take out whatever writing utensil is handy, and I just start scratching through that. Like, nah, no, none of that. No, we don't need none of that. There you go.
The other two
I'll initial that.
They start like handing their contracts over to you. Yeah, that needs to go. The dwarf has already handed his contract over. He's like, that's actually pretty good thinking. I mean, if we die and then you reanimate us like zombies, and then we can still keep killing. Is there any way you can make it so that we know that's happening? That'd be amazing.
I mean, we'll look at it. We'll look into it.
I dub thee Mayhem.
Yeah, I'll modify the contracts and whatever. I was like, I don't know what's like. Our autonomes gave us these contracts from the previous. Like, this is a salvage ship, and they had like a standard contract for it. And I thought, hey, this would save some time. But apparently, I should have known. We'll just pull this all out here. You don't need that.
The fighter guy like just arches an eyebrow, and the artificer is like, I am now so much more interested in Autonome Society than I ever was.
Okay,
Can't wait to meet
one
them.
last guy.
All right.
I mean, I have an intelligence of 8, but I do have a wisdom of 15, so I don't want these things. I know they're bad. I just don't. I'm not very good at, like, reading them.
All right. So, yeah, to my memory, there were supposed to be 5 people, and I don't remember what the 5th one was. So we'll just say, go ahead and do the inside check, and I'll tell you the answer.
Okie doke. Boop.
Because I don't want to screw you over later. Go check my notes and be like, oh, yeah, you totally should have noticed he was going to stab you all in the face as soon as you fell asleep.
I got 16.
All right. He seems on the up and up. I'm going to say he's a violent pirate type, but not necessarily an issue for the crew.
All right. I wanted to
check my notes and I realize it's slightly different. I'll be sure to let you know.
Yeah, because I did say we needed a doctor or something like that.
I don't think we had a healer in there.
Okay. Hopefully Johnny makes his way back by now. I don't know.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, it's been a bit. Dell, I'm going to cut to Dell real quick, then we'll get back to you. Dell, you have been searching the ship.
I have.
And you have, with that 16 investigation, because you already knew something was out of place, so you had like better reason to search. You think after a thorough thorough search of the ship, you are able to tell. You find basically like there's like a nook. You're searching every nook and cranny. You find this one area, it's one corner that is like in the pantry where the food is stored, where is behind stuff where you normally just don't see. Like you could walk in there, grab stuff, walk out, and unless you had a reason to, never go around to look behind these crates. And someone's been there. There isn't anybody there at the moment, which is convenient because it's just one-on-one combat at that point. But you think someone's been here? There is food like crumbs. There is
Go away.
Yeah, there is a cloth that is kind of bundled into a ball that, if you were hiding out here, you could maybe sleep there, but it'd be really awkward and uncomfortable. It looks like maybe it's a makeshift bed for a stowaway. Like somebody's been hiding here.
Okay.
But you don't see enough to tell you how long it's been going on. Like the food doesn't look like it's the food crumbs you're finding you can't tell if they've been there for a week or for a month. But if it's a month, then that's a real issue. Even then, you've been parked here for a while because you had all that reconstruction done. Although maybe the dwarves would have noticed. You don't know.
Okay.
The dwarves did not check your pantry, or at least as far as you know, they weren't eating food out of your pantry. They might have. Frickin' dwarves.
Here's a question. during my investigations, whether that's just a quick perception check around or the deeper investigation, are like Sano and Kihos anywhere around?
No, they're at that apartment you rented for them.
No. We had left them at the ship to keep an eye on the ship while we.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, then,
we
yeah.
took the autonomes.
My bad. Then, yeah, they're there.
We didn't leave the ship unattended because there's illithids that have an unhealthy obsession with it.
In that case, yeah, they're there. No problem.
So
they are
they
there.
both are?
Sure. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You can ask them, hey, did either of you do this? They did not.
No, I'm staying in Raven form while I'm doing all of this. I
okay.
just wanted to know if they were there.
And yeah, they're there. They
Okay.
will take notice of a raven flying about their ship, though.
I
As you
mean,
fly from room to room.
As a Raven, I'll like grab a pencil or something and write out, "This is Dell." I just don't want to change back yet. But
For a moment, Sano was just like, this bird is really smart. We should capture it and sell it to the circus. It can write oh, it's just Dell. And Kio's Slash was like, I knew it was Dell. I just wasn't going to say anything.
yeah. Okay. So yeah,
And then
I'm
They clack their drink mugs together and go back to drinking. Oh.
okay. You can go back to the other guys.
Well, meanwhile, back at the bar, you're looking towards the door, hoping that Johnny will come in. And you see four guys dressed like Del Starwind that are also elves like Del Starwind, but they're not Del. And they walk in, they look around, they look kind of like a little bit cautiously at the big beholder, but not like, oh my God, beholder, and run away and fright or anything. Like maybe they did know that this was supposed to be here. But the first time you see a beholder running a bar, there's still that moment of, oh God, that's a real thing. And they look around the bar and they seem uncomfortable, but they do look around a bit. And then the beholder like cocks itself at them. And you don't know what else is being said because it's obviously a telepathic conversation. That Luigi, because they're racist against aberrations.
I'm sorry, Howard. My internet. I'm sorry. Oh, my internet connection is unstable. I missed everything about
does that mean
those.
it went on the stream either?
I don't think it went on the stream either.
Okay, so
They come in. They come in, and Luigi looks at them and has a telepathic conversation. And
they leave. That was pretty much all that happened.
okay,
There was extra description, but it's not that important. Flowery description. It was epic. You all missed it. It's Corey's fault.
I heard it.
well,
And a couple of minutes after that was when Johnny will walk in. But if you want to role play before he walks in, go ahead.
no. That's good.
Okay. I just not trying to step on your role play or nothing. All right,
Hi.
Johnny walks in.
Hi, Johnny. That
Oh,
thing,
good to see you.
good, that
going
thing
on?
taken care of.
Everything's done. All is good. You
Excellent.
know you can count on me.
Well, me and Adora have been talking to your picks. They all seem like winners, mate. What's up with that? How'd you give us all these winners?
You haven't seen the other 10 mooks yet. But yeah, hey, that's like I say, you can always count on me.
Hey, if you got a job, we're looking for one. Now that we got a crew, we can go out there and do a job.
Right? I can look into it. If you're looking right now,
Right now.
absolutely. I don't have one like ready to go, but I can go look and see what I got for you. Is there anything in particular you're looking for? Like, are you trying to meet a certain price range?
Uh,
Anything to get us off this rock?
yeah, like, can we do something in like way
Are you
out
looking
there, like some evil asteroid dungeon or something like that?
evil asteroid dungeon? Unfortunately, I had 2 of those, and they just got added this morning.
Right.
Sorry, I already sent those out.
Tell you what, you go put some feelers out, talk to us tomorrow. I'm sure these guys need to get settled, and we have some Illithid to deal with.
All right.
So if you don't hear, if we suddenly disappear, it's because the Mind Flayers got us.
That's always the assumption when anyone disappears. You know, they run slave rings. They just steal people and sell them. They're awful, all of them.
Well, they have an interest in our ship. So I'm going to find out why they have an interest in our ship. And
Yeah,
then,
they normally have a thing for ships that look like seashells. So I don't know what they want with yours.
I think it has something to do with some of our cargo. I don't know. Maybe. I really don't.
Do you have
Trust
some?
him about that.
Do you have some cargo you'd like to unload? I can
No.
help you. Tell me about your cargo. What's going on?
I have no idea. I don't know. Maybe it's the autonomes.
The autonomes or something?
They're people.
Yeah. Okay. Sure.
You just said they're into slavery. And those
Yeah.
autonomes are pretty special people.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Any people that are constructed are very special. Absolutely.
I mean, they can't eat their brains, right?
I don't know. The bartender might know.
That's all right, mate. That's all right. Just go get some feelers out there, get us a job, and we're gonna go deal with some Illithids.
Okay. And out of character, you also need to get one of your autonomes healed because he has less than a day to live.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we gotta go. We gotta go to the Selene, the moon, and we gotta heal one of our autonomes too. So we'll be back.
Have fun.
All right. We'll see you when we get back.
All right. Your new crew will be waiting for you tomorrow then.
Wait, they're right here.
Well, did you want them now? You said tomorrow before.
No, the job's tomorrow.
Right.
Right.
No, take them with you. I don't care.
Right. We need the crew now if we're gonna go to the moon, and those Illithids are gonna follow us and ambush us.
Pay 'em. I don't care.
Hi,
In fact,
guys.
if you don't pay them. I don't care. I'm out of it now. Ah.
Hey guys, come on, let's go see the ship. It's time.
All right. Your new crew follows you.
All right, we show them the ship.
All right. They are impressed by the ship because it's just been revamped by a bunch of very industrious dwarves, and they all take special interest in their areas of expertise.
And we make sure they have bunks.
They appreciate
And
that.
I introduce Dell to all of them.
Okay. They're like,
He's-
hey, it's a bird.
He's at the ship.
No, when they all show up, I'll with Ramush in tow. I'll turn back.
All right.
I've only got 2 hours as a bird anyway, so.
Okay. Well then, gang's all here. Everybody's on the ship. You want to fly the saloon, or you got anything else you want to do?
Well, there's Tank. She's got to get paid.
Nope.
Is she on the ship?
Let's go get let's get off this rock. It's best for us, best for the autonomes.
Okay. We got two ways to do this. One, we can just go to Selene and deal with the Illithids if they attack us. Or two, we can sneak on the Illithid ship, find out why they want us, and maybe sabotage them so they can't follow us.
We're going to save Noma's life. I think that'll take the higher priority. We can deal with them if they attack us or when we get back.
Right. I turn to the crew that we have, and I say, all right, we're going to be heading out to the hidden moon of Toril here. And there's an Illithid Nautilus that might attack us.
All right. The artificer looks excited and is going to go ahead for if nobody says anything, she's going to head for that main cannon.
Yeah. Get
Tinker,
associated.
You might want to give Boom Boom there a tour.
Get very associated with the ship here. Make sure you know what you're gonna do. If you have any questions, ask Tank, ask Hestus. They both know a lot. Try not to bother Nomus so much. He's sick.
Howard, side note, this is kind of an out of character thing, but watching Hesketh's reaction, because Nomus when he came to was disoriented and he didn't know who we were. How has Hesketh been responding to us since the exorcism? Does she know us? Does she?
She seems to like she knows you. I'll tell you what, insight check. That'd be the best way to.
But she's been going along at least. Yeah. But still.
All right, with that's a fairly average roll. I'll say that you pick up that she does seem to know you guys, but she also seems like she's not on the same page yet. It's like you're dealing with someone who's literally just woken up, and you're like, "Hey, come on, this is Bob. We're gonna do the thing." And they're like, "Oh, okay, let's do the thing." And they're kind of looking around, like, "What's going on exactly?" They don't know.
What did I miss?
Okay.
Beyond that, that role, you're not sure exactly what she knows, but you feel like she's mostly just like she kind of recognizes you guys, but she's not really caught up yet.
Okay. I explained to the crew exactly what we're going to do. We're going to head to the hidden moon of Toril. It is completely invisible, but we know the way. There are lithids that have taken interest into us. They might follow us and attack us. We are doing this because our autonome friend here, who is one of the original ship's crew, is very ill, and he needs to be healed, and the best way we can do that is by getting to that moon, and we need to get there before 24 hours are up.
The fighter guy's like, it looks around, and he's like, I can go up there and just look to see if somebody's following us, right?
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Right. Your crow's nest.
Be careful. If we say get back inside, because we have an electrified hull that we can turn on and off. A lightning hull.
That's neat.
It is.
Very good to know. All right. He's going to get up to a point where he can yell back if he sees some people following.
All right. Before we go anywhere, I want to check on our warehouse to make sure the illicits hadn't found it yet. Is that all right? I'll be in and out real quick just to make sure that our stuff is still there. I'll be stealthy.
Well, we do the pre-sale checks. Why don't you go check that?
Right. Howard, I'll cast Pass Without Trace and go check on our cargo to make sure it's still there and that it hasn't been discovered yet. And I'll be super stealthy and make sure no one sees me with Pass Without Trace.
Go and be super stealthy and wander out to the warehouse and back.
Let me cast the spell real quick. This is I have no more spells. Second level after I cast this. And then I'll make my stealth check.
All of that time that we were in the bar there, interviewing people and all the rest, do you think that counts as a short rest?
Yeah, I'll give you a short rest if you want.
I guess that's not enough to restore spell slots for anybody but a warlock. But...
All right. I made a 30 on my stealth check.
Well, technically, Dell was investigating during all that, but...
Well, I was thinking more for... my first thought was to try and get some spell slots back for Corey, but then I realized that wouldn't work anyway.
Nah, he needs a special feat for that because he's not a warlock. All right. So, yeah, with a 20 in your stealth...
30.
30. Yeah, that's right, plus 10. With 30, you click on stealth mode and click out. Go ahead and head out, and you go check out the warehouse. Nothing appears messed with. Everything is where it should be.
Excellent. And then I'll make my way back. Do I need a stealth check to get back, or is that fine?
Nah, I'll call it the same stealth check.
Okay.
You're fine.
Great. Whew. Load off our mind. We can go.
I mean, unless you like to make the investigation check to see through the illusion of everything being where it should be.
That's okay.
All right. Then the illusion stays in place. Everything is fine. Back to the ship. The ship takes off. And as I have a guy actually looking backwards to see if anybody is following you, I'll roll for that guy. Although it's funny to just be like, nope, he only passive perception to look because he's an NPC. But now I won't do that to you. Oh, he's quite attentive. He calls down. He says, the non-Lloyd hasn't moved. And then after like a minute, you get everything ready and you have started to move. It still hasn't moved. Yeah, I don't think. There is movement.
We have movement.
The non-Lloyd isn't moving, but there's something smaller coming out from behind it that is moving. It looks like they have I don't know a lot about these things. I'm going to call it a smalloid. It's not like a little nautiloid, like a little baby hermit crab shell, just kind of shooting out the back. And I think it's going to its trajectory is changing. He's kind of looping around. He's trying to play it very cool, but I totally see him. They're
coming at us with barnacles, boys.
We see you.
Oh man, a barnacle would have been awesome. Why didn't I think of that? Just have a barnacle on the hull of your ship, and you all be like, well, "That's weird."
Well,
Put that in the notes for later.
When they did the 3E version of Spelljammer, they had the Illithids have these little individual craft called boar worms.
Yeah, that's true. They do.
Those are real things too.
Yeah.
That's also horrific. But
all right.
This thing he described as being like a little hermit crab shell, which, if you know anything about hermit crabs, that's any shell.
So this ship moves on its own unless we need to go through the astral plane and then we have to like pump a spell into it or something?
No, I'm the one sitting on the hull, the helm making it fly.
All right. So I guess Dell is flying you. You don't have to go to the astral sea to get from here to the moon. It's not that far. You're just thinking at it, go that way, and it just kind of lifts and goes. You don't have to invest anything in there.
It'll be at least several hours before we get there anyway.
It is significantly faster than the ship you used the first time because this is a full-sized ship.
True, but I mean, I don't know how far the rock is from Saluna, but I'm estimating at least a half day to get down.
You're both in orbit around the same planet, so it won't be more than a day no matter what.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would say you're probably. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to roll a d12 and say you're that, or I'm going to do 2d6 because that works better for me. Turn off these little bonuses. Yeah, roll 2 of them. There we go. You are 9 hours away because the dice don't like you that much.
That's fine. 9 hours we can live with. And so can Nomus.
I mean, I consulted all of my very important DM star charts of the area around here, and I through my calculations, which are very, very precise, 9 hours. Anything you'd like to do in that 9 hours? You are aware you're being followed as well.
Yeah,
but it doesn't look like they're coming after you to make war. I'm
still
flying
the ship,
you.
So the other guys can do what they do, but I'm flying the ship.
As far as I know, you can still hear other people while you're.
Oh, I can hear what's going on for sure, but I can't really, unless they come into the helm room, I can't really do much interaction with them.
Right. All right. So you're being followed, but you know that it looks like they're just stealthing after you. They don't look like they are ready to attack because it's just a small ship. If you ask, he'll call down that whatever that is, if there's more than 3 of them in there, they are packed way too tight. That thing looks like a canoe with a shell on it.
Are we going to show these people where the hidden moon is if we go to the hidden moon and they follow us?
The moon itself isn't hidden. It's just the cities and stuff on the surface that are.
Ah. But if they follow us inside the illusion, they'll know that it's
Where everything is.
But the illusion
surface
only
of the
covers
moon is-
for planet side.
Right. The illusion is to the people of Toril.
On the planet.
The people, the Spelljammers, everyone that's flying through space is supposed to actually be aware. Like you see it if you come from a certain direction. It's It's not omnidirectional. It's unidirectional.
okay.
Whatever.
Got it. I was just saying, like, are we letting Illithids know that this place is here?
Because when you remember the first time you traveled there, it looked like there was nothing, and as you came around, all of a sudden everything started to appear as you came to the other side of the illusion.
So Sarah wants.
People that come from space will see the other side of the illusion depending on where they come from.
Sarah's got a question.
Oh yeah, sorry, Sarah. If you'd like to just sleep during this travel, sure, absolutely. Have your long rest. Is anybody not going to take a long rest?
I can't because I'm flying the.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm
That's one.
driving the helm.
I feel like I
can
got a
also
captain.
take a shift at piloting.
All
In
right.
fact, if anything,
I've got it.
I should do it and let Dell sleep.
You get your wild shapes back. The Spelljammer helm will eat up your spells.
Yeah.
I mean, it's eating my spells regardless. So,
But
I'll
if you
get
go
a
to
rest
bed
when
now,
I'll get a rest-
sorry, you go ahead.
I'll get a rest when we get landed.
Okay.
And get all that work, and that's when I'll take my long rest. Then.
Yes.
So.
We'll rest when we're
All right.
dead.
By the way, Ramush,
Right.
Captain.
Yes.
Okay.
I found signs that we might have a stowaway somewhere around here.
Oh.
If you go down and I describe where that like little nest had been
It's in
hidden.
the back of the food pantry, basically.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll go check out what he's referring to.
Okay. You go back in there, and because he told you exactly where to look, you walk around the boxes and you look. And if somebody's been sleeping back here, you would guess that if they're as tall as a full-size person like yourself, that they must really scrunch down to sleep back here. But there's enough room; it could happen. There is the cloth, like you described, wadded up like it might be used for a pillow. There's some crumbs in the area, and assuming that Dell didn't, sweep up as a bird, although that'd be hilarious to watch.
Nope. I left it.
You might have
exactly
picked out a
as
few
is.
of them and been like, oh wait, god damn it, I'm not a real bird.
I guess we'll have to. If someone scrunches down here, could be a kid though or a small sized creature.
It was not Tinker. Tinker has a hammock.
You got your own bed. You don't need to do that.
Can I roll survival to do some tracking?
Sure, go ahead.
I'm very good at survival. I'm a ranger. This is what I do.
All right. There's not really any like prints. Like there's no like footprints made into the floor because it's a normal floor. So as you're looking around, it occurs to you though that if they're eating, they're probably doing something else. So you start looking around, and you don't smell anything in the pantry. Thankfully, there's no like hidden bags of poo. So you start going through the ship, and what I'll give you the 21 is whoever has been here, you're able to tell that they must have spent time there because you know that they were there long enough to rest. There's a pillow, and then there's evidence that they were eating. You can't find any evidence that they were eliminating, which implies that they might have gone elsewhere. And you search the ship. they you know that they're able to get around enough that they're using. I'm assuming there must be something. Dale, you're the expert. Old style ships, did they have a privy or do they just crap off the side? How'd that work? I've never looked.
The reason they're called the heads is because you go up to the end of the bow and you do your business off the end at the head.
Okay. Well, now we know. And today,
Now,
everyone
this
learned.
not being a typical Age of Sail type ship, though, we may have had some inbuilt toilets that simply eject the waste out the side.
I will
So
say
there
this.
may be toilets here.
You remodeled. Did you make toilets or not? I don't care. I'm just curious.
This was a dwarf ship. I think figure
This
whatever
was
the
a dwarf ship. We just we only remodeled certain things. We kept as much of it.
I'm going to
the
say
same
that.
as-
I'm going to say the doors probably didn't care enough about that particular feature and were happy to just crap off the side or off the head.
Sure.
However, there are these stone seating areas where you can relax your thighs and get your booty right off the edge there and let it go. It's actually quite comfortable.
I hate all of you right now for this imagery.
What do you have against dwarves, you racist? They got cute little butts. They're thick. THICC.
Stop
right.
talking.
All right, that's fair.
All right.
That's fair.
I'll call everybody together who's not resting, which is like Tink and Dell and in the bridge or wherever the command deck is, and
in the helm room, Andy.
yeah, and I'll tell them all right. I think Dell is right. We have a stowaway. They've either left the ship or they're invisible, or they know how to get around this ship better than we do.
Tinker says that's impossible.
Well, if they were on this ship when we found the ship, that might not be impossible. But if they got on board when we were at the Rock of Brawl, then yeah, I'm with you. Which means they're either invisible, or they left. And by invisible, I mean they could be magically invisible, or they could have just shrunk themselves down to the size of a mouse or something. I don't know, like some sort of magical way that they're keeping us from seeing them.
Or they're just really good at hiding.
I don't know about that, mate.
They could just be really good at hiding. By the look of the food crumbs left over, they're not illicits. They're not an illicit.
That's good thinking. Yeah, they're not illicit. They would that would be little skull fragments.
For all I know, like they could just be some urchin, or some any other of whatever.
Reasons why people stow away.
Yeah, but they are not mind flayer. I know that.
Hey, if we have
Just from the food traces.
If we have a rambunctious urchin that came on board, good for him. I mean, I'm not gonna make a big fuss about that.
Free crew member, I guess.
Free cabin boy.
All right. So what are we gonna do about our shadow out there? Nothing.
As you say that, you hear, hey, Captain, if you'd like, whoever's on the ballista could probably take a shot.
I don't know if we want to tell them that we know that they're following them. We're discussing that right now, but thanks for the offer.
I mean, like they're in a prime spot. Like, you could probably eliminate them.
Is this the bloodthirsty elf?
No, it's actually the fighter guy that's just up in the crow's nest. Just taking a watch. Like, he's like, I see the perfect shot lined up, and I want to make sure that y'all know I did my job.
I don't see.
I'm not the one on the ballista, and it's on the port side. There's nothing I can do, but the ballista guy.
I say to you two, I say, I don't know if it matters if they know that we know they're following them or not. So I figure we take the shot. Seeing if anybody wants to protest that order.
I mean, if you want to take the shot, Captain, it's your call.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. All right, take the shot.
The Thrycreen right click will he says, well, actually, yeah, he makes some weird like clickety clack noises because whatever, it's Thrycreen, you don't speak it. And after a few seconds, he takes his shot with True Strike because he cast it. That's right. It's not the worst actual cantrip ever if you're sniping. The only time it's any good.
Well, that's
And then you've got to roll like that.
Yeah. Yeah, sorry.
You'd think it was me shooting.
You would. Based on, yeah. But, yeah. All right. So,
That was a warning shot off the bow.
It literally, because you exceeded 10, I like to imagine that once you hit 10 or higher, then the reason you didn't hit was because of their actual AC, not just you shot wide. So with an 11, it hit, but it like just grazed the side of it. But they're now well aware. And then you hear whoever is within sight range of him will hear, apologies, I'm sorry, I am willing to shoot again. And you kind of get the impression, just this emotional feel of embarrassment as he's all proud that he's going to get his first shot off and it failed. He's reloading.
I think that was a sufficient warning shot, don't you?
Yes.
I said
that was the plan.
Nice job on that intentional warning shot. Help him save a little face there.
Do you
Tinker looks
want
at
another
Dal
shot?
and goes,
yeah, take them out.
"You in battle?"
Okay. All right.
I didn't say across their nose. I said up it.
All right. Well, the next time he will. That should be a +6 because he is using the ballista, not his weapon. Anyway, so it would have been a 12, but still didn't break it. So natural 20.
Wow, critical hit.
Oh God. The ballista damage really bad too. I mean, not bad, good. And this is not a ship. This is a little tiny. I'm not even gonna roll it. Here's what happens. With his second shot, he saves all the face. As he lines it up slightly better, knowing where he went wrong on the last shot.
He just had to sight it in. That's all he had to do was sight it in.
It was his first time with a new ballista.
Getting his range.
And the second shot, it looks at first like it went way too low, but then you realize that he was doing it on purpose because he saw there's almost like a seam at the bottom that looks like it's important to the shape of the ship, and it cracks the entire bottom piece of the ship. And as it does, the aelithid like legs fall out. They could be aelithid legs. You don't know. They don't have tentacles on the bottoms of them or anything. But there's some legs fall out as the ship is now spiraling.
Now they have a Flintstone ship.
Yep, it is now a Flintstone ship. He has to just kick his legs and swim it back home. Yeah, he is absolutely screwed. That guy is in a bad way in space, in a ship that is broken. Which that with that kind of massive damage to your hull, your air bubble begins to dissipate. And while the Elithid are weird, as far as you know, they breathe.
All right, I do not feel bad about that.
Tinker feels a little weird about letting him suffocate in space, but
I mean, he was after you for some reason.
It's just that's kind of a slow and a horrible way to die.
Look, I'm gonna say this.
They eat brains.
I was about to say
That's why I
While
said
you're
she said
alive.
a little,
they
just a little.
they do eat
While
brains,
you
but I'm gonna say that's not their fault that they eat brains. I mean, your biology is your biology. It's
You
nothing
can't help
personal,
that.
but they do enslave us, and that is a choice.
Yes.
They replace our brains with like other brains and all sorts of like horrific
That's
things.
just unnatural.
So I'm gonna say I'm fine with it.
That's why I said she's only feeling a little squiffy about it.
So there is like a weird, like hissy clicky sound of like triumph
Yeah.
coming from the
I'll
ballista.
good job. Hey, everybody applauds.
All right.
Dude etches just, a slight mark into the side of the ballista.
One little squiddy.
One little shell with tentacles.
All right. So that solves that issue. Hours later, unless you have something else to do, you will arrive at Saloon. Anyone that took a long rest can regain their spell slots and awesome character features for your class, whatever they are. And if you didn't take a long rest, you're starting to get bags under your eyes because you know what? Exhaustion's a thing. But if you sleep when you get to the temple, you can knock that point of exhaustion right back off. And you are now approaching Saloon. You aim for that big. There was that one giant city, which was the big Mecca city that you went to before. I assume you aim for that one. And that is where you are welcomed. As you are approaching, your ship is known, although it has been altered. I'm gonna say the guy has to make a check to see how they treat you because they don't necessarily know what's coming up there.
Well, they didn't know our ship to begin with, so they're going off of a description alone.
Oh,
anyway.
that's right. It wasn't your ship anyway.
Well,
that's
it
right.
does say Melina on the side.
Okay, you know what?
True,
Go with that.
But
Go
they
with
need,
that, and I made an 18. I'll say they see Melina, and there's some word of mouth back and forth, like, oh, that one docks here, and you get shown to a dock that's a little bit nicer than some of the other docks because you're friends with the queen of the planet, well, the moon.
Because we helped her stage a coup.
I mean, what is
You
a
made her the
planet?
queen.
What is a planet but the thing that you're on? Like you're like
Well, you're thinking of a world. You're thinking world, not planet.
Because right now,
Is
the
there really
thing
a
that you're on
difference?
is a ship that is definitely not a planet.
Tinker says it's too early in the day for philosophical riddles.
All right. You dock with no problems. You are greeted by a royal guard from the palace. You recognize the uniform. You don't necessarily recognize the guard. It's just, Dave that was on duty. Just a guy, but the armor gives you a big clue that who he is and why he's there for you specifically. And he gives you a slight bow as you are, I'm assuming, descending your ramp.
Yes. We've got Nomus on some kind of a stretcher or something to be able to... Because I'm sure by now he's getting in more of a bad way.
Yep.
I can't not think about Lando Calrissian going, problem with your droids?
Pretty much. Pretty much exactly it.
Well, let me see what we can do for you.
We need to get him a greater restoration, so...
Sure. Hey, he calls over, and you see regular watch guards that kind of patrol the piers. He calls two of them over, and you can tell immediately they have to defer to these particular guys, and he gives them instructions to help you get Nomus. He goes, go ahead and take this one to the temple, and he points and gives instructions, and he's clearly just telling him take him to go get healed. Is there anything special we need to know? It's not lycanthropy or anything horrible, is it? By the way, don't take lycanthropes to a moon. I don't know if you've ever thought about that one. It's bad.
Mostly
Tinker
it's-
starts asking them about that.
I'd look at the rest of the crew to see if they're like foaming at the mouth or anything. Like, no, we're good.
Mostly, a greater restoration is what's needed with him. I can pay for the components needed for that. It needs 100 gold worth of diamond dust, so I can pay like the 100 gold.
Well, that's
plus
the priest of the temple will certainly appreciate your charitable donation to the cause, et cetera, et cetera. That's not really my thing, but they will definitely take care of it. If you want, you can pass it to me. I can pass it to the guard, and they'll pass it on, and I can guarantee you they will.
It'll totally get there. With, a
I make sure that.
service fee.
Yeah.
All right, so yeah, you can mark off the 100 gold of diamond dust and or 100 gold, and they'll convert that to diamond dust because they have a goblin money changer that does all that. No, I don't know. No, it would be a goblin, not here.
Yeah, I was about to say let's avoid goblin money changers.
Especially on a elf-ruled moon where the elves are super elf supremacists.
Yeah.
No goblins, thank you. Conveniently, no one played goblins in this game. All right. So yeah, they'll take care of that. While you're here, is there anything else we can do for you? Did you need any special meetings arranged? Because of course, Her Highness will be told that you're here. She's very busy as she's the queen, but I can pass on messages.
No need to bother her unless there's some way we can be of assistance.
I can pass that on to make sure. I'm not authorized really just grant, or to tell you of any favor she would needs from you either. But I'll be happy to look into it.
Mm-hmm. And in the meantime, I need a rest because I've been helming this ship for the last 9 hours, and that's
some rough work.
That is too long. I'm
It's
gonna
a good looking
take my
ship
own.
you got there. I like it.
Tinker says, "I told you so."
I mean, it's not elven, clearly. You can tell by the dumpers there on the back. But
There's a lot of things that you can tell that it ain't elven by, but
Yeah, it's not.
anyway,
It's not a
I'm
hand
going
me
to
down.
I am definitely going to bed, and I go go to the helmsman's quarters, and I get my long rest in.
He'll ask as you're heading off. Did you want to be set up at the temple, or you're resting on the ship? All right then.
I am that tired that I just don't want to go any further if I don't have to.
I just want my own bed.
Fix my friend. Here's the money to pay for the components for it. I need rest.
All right. Sarah, is Eudora look like actual Eudora or like another random bunny? You can type if she looks like something else. Or if it's just Eudora, give me a thumbs up. I'm seeing typing up. Oh, thumbs up. Eudora's Eudora. All right. And I look forward to your computer being fixed. I miss your voice a little. Don't tell anyone. All right. So for the rest of you, if you want to go, he'll escort you to the temple. If you'd like to stay on the ship, you can stay on the ship. Your auto gnome friend will be back like an hour and a half because they'll take him there. They'll do the healing. They'll check and make sure he's okay, and then eventually bring him back. So it's like a regular trip to the doctor, except that they'll save his life at just a mere 100 gold. At this point, well, when you get back and get your 10 mooks, you'll have, I think, a bigger ship's crew than you did on the previous ship, the Weird Hammer.
Pretty lightly crewed, was she?
He was.
So this will give us a crew of 15 plus the player characters. So,
Are you? Because I'm still counting Seno and Kios as part of the crew.
I'm counting them as part of the player characters for this calculation.
Oh, okay.
So, I guess Sano counts as definite NPC at
Yeah.
least. So
They also
16
have
plus
Hesketh,
16 plus.
Nomus, the 5 noobs, and then the 10. So that's
Well,
quite a bit.
So that counting Hesketh and Nomus with the player characters there, though.
Okay.
So we've got Hesketh, Nomus, Sano. We've got the other 5, so that's 8 plus 10.
That's 18.
That's 18 crew plus the player characters.
Right. Although at this point, I love you, Spike. If you're watching, kind of Kios is NPC at this point.
We're worried about you, man.
We'll discuss that off stream.
All right. But if you're watching, say hi. All right. Is there anything else y'all want to do here while you're here? Or do you just want to get your gnome healed or auto gnome healed and head back? Or would you like to meet with the queen and see if she needs anything? Because that can be arranged, but it's not required.
If you guys want to see if we can get a job somewhere through here, that'd be fantastic. But I'm taking my long rest, so I can't speak.
I'll need the long rest too. I'll make sure that.
Well, you've been taking the long rest or had the opportunity to while we were flying.
Did
we
I?
had 9 hours between the rock and here.
I figured I was captaining and keeping an eye on that little dinghy until it was destroyed.
Yeah,
Fair
that
enough.
probably happened a few hours in. So
Yeah, so I'll take my long rest with you. Tink and Adora can make sure that the that Nomus is taken care of. After that, we'll come together and we'll discuss what we want to do. If we want to talk to the queen, I don't like that. Seems like we don't need to, but we might want to ask the church if they have a job for us.
Be a good gesture.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that's certainly one of the options.
it's all up to you guys.
Yeah.
I'll write a letter.
Also, Eudora said, "I'll stay at the ship for now."
I'll write a letter telling the queen. I'll just write a letter telling the queen that we're in town for a day, and if she has any work for us, to please send it back to the ship on a letter, and we'll take any job that if she has anything that she needs done. And of course, it goes to her. So if she has any more clandestine things she doesn't want anybody else to know about, she can use us as her secret ace in the hole or whatever,
Eudora backs that concept by saying, "Looking for work seems like a good idea. Also, I want to shoot something."
What was that about saying that her and the fighter are just alike? They're the same type of person?
So yeah, instead of bothering her with a big audience, we'll just send that letter along.
All right.
And we'll stay here for 24 hours until we have to go back and see Johnny.
Okay. So everybody's back up to full on hit points. You get all of your spell slots back. No exhaustion points. I think Dell was the only one that had one anyway.
Yeah.
So everybody is feeling good. Nomus is back. Nomus feels great. He asks you. Nomus will ask Tinker, "Do you need this back, or should I keep this? Because it's kind of interesting."
Oh, the battery pack? No, yeah, it's totally yours.
Okay. Essentially, I don't know if you remember, but it allows him to skip a day before getting exhaustion points.
Yeah.
He'll give it back to you. He doesn't need it, but it's neat.
Yeah, but she's also not going to be like, "Here, I'm going to put something in your body, but only temporarily." And then I'm going to...
That's what she said?
I will...
Feels a little weird.
I'd like to put something in your body temporarily. What are we saying? Hello, moving
If
away.
Nomus is better...
Oh my god.
If Nomus and Hesketh are better and they're back, I will offer them passage to any place they want to go if they want to go there, or they can stay on the ship and work as crew.
Nomus and Hesketh are happy to be crew. They, that's fine. They were on the Melina back when it wasn't the Melina. In fact, they could tell you the name of the original ship, but I don't have that pulled up, and that goes back to chapter 1. That's
I'll
a
ask
lot of
him-
old notes.
I'll ask him about the Dead Gate.
Yeah, actually, they do.
Now
know what
that they're
is.
no longer possessed by it and may be able to
Hey.
actually talk about it.
That's true. They've been here the whole time. Can totally tell you what that is, or at least what
This
they would know.
conversation happens without the new crew members being around.
That
Yes.
is a good point to make clear. Thank you very much.
Absolutely nobody else can hear this.
Right. Kihos and
Kihos takes
Sano
them off.
are standing by, guarding the door so nobody else overhears.
Kihos and Sanos take them to a local drinking establishment, and they have a congratulatory few drinks for their first sale.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, they're gonna get very effed up on Elven brandy.
There we go.
All right, which I'm imagining is probably good. So, back to Nomus and Heskis. I don't think we called it. Would you call it Deathgate? No, that's
Yeah,
that
I called it
definitely
the
wasn't what we called it.
I called it the
Shadow
Death
Gate.
Gate just now.
There
or a Shadow
was-
Gate, or
Yeah, the Shadow Gate. That's a good one. Shadow Gate.
After you give it a moment of like description so they know what you're talking about, and then they will be like, oh, that was in our cargo. It was, to my memories, this is Heskis. It was, we picked it up from some really like shady people. They were pirates, but I don't know which. Like, there are multiple pirate groups. And
Yeah.
I don't know which particular pirate flag they flew under. Not all pirates just use the skull and crossbones. In fact, I don't know if any do. I think that's just like cartoon pirates.
every pirate flag is unique to that ship.
Yep.
And that, yeah, she says that cool nautical fact just for you guys. Y'all learned from her, not Dell.
For once, you just
I'm
wanted to point that out.
I'm just stealing knowledge from Keith and using it. All right. So yeah, but she'll say that what she does remember of the flag, there was a skull on it, but it wasn't a crossbones or anything obvious like that. It was a serpent that was coiled underneath it, or around it. Maybe it was around it. She's not sure. Like, you couldn't see the jaw, so maybe it was coiled around the bottom of a skull. She doesn't know what it is or what it means. These pirates, they sold the cargo. We picked it up. It was a partial trade. They gave us money and this cargo in exchange for some other cargo we had, which were hull-breaking weapons. And this ship used to be an almost all dwarven ship, which you already knew that part. And their weapons were pretty good. And she basically describes these shoulder-mounted battering rams. They came with like a climbing set, and they would put the hook in, and then they would set it, and then they set the battering ram, and there was like a pulley system so they could pull and then crack in. And it was some stuff that they had invented and they were selling as a weapon for boarding. And these pirates are, of course, very interested in that. And they, in exchange for that, they were like, here's this cargo. The cargo was supposed to be worth a lot, but it was to make up for them not having enough money to actually pay for the ordnance that they were buying. So that's how we got it. We were supposed to take it back to, and she names the planet. I don't have my notes, sorry, but she tells you where. Like, it doesn't sound like super suspicious. We were going to take it back to this planet, and we were going to turn it over. We actually didn't want it ourselves because we didn't really understand what it was, and we were hoping to get the rest of the payment. We were just selling these things, which there were none of those on board. So apparently they sold them all, which is a shame because, wow, what a cool toy that would be to have.
Well, I think that cargo you picked up is the reason everything bad happened on your ship.
We did inspect it to make sure it was legitimately magical and worth something like the pirates had claimed.
Oh yeah, it is.
And when we inspected it, I do remember they said it had a strong necromantic. When you have the ability to identify magic or detect magic, I should say, you know what school of magic it's associated with, and whatever that was, it was necromantic. We didn't try to make it work because we weren't sure exactly what it would do, but the amount of magic involved, like it wasn't like there's spells where I can like make a small image appear, and that's called a minor image. That is a thing you can do all the time. It's a small amount of magical energy. All I know for sure is they said that when they scanned the big gate that you're talking about, they didn't call it a gate, but yeah, they said that it was very, very powerful magic. Like it was insanely bright. They described it as bright. I think that the way they used their ability to detect magic was like sight based. I can't do that.
Look,
I can only tell you what they said.
Mate, we can all use magic here. We all know what magic is, except for even Adora knows a little magic.
So, the planet that that they told us that they were going to be taking it to, is that in the same system or is that in a different system from where we are?
It is a different system.
Okay.
Look, whoever we're going to sell it to, we have to vet these people because, like I said, I don't want this falling into the wrong hands.
Yeah, the ship we were on, which was sent to recover it, was hired by the Elven Navy. And it's not a weapon that I want in their hands, or a device that I want in their hands. So
Okay.
We need one of them, like, altruistic wizard academies or something like that.
is there such a thing?
I don't know. I hear stories of that. You know, like, you read these stories about, like, the wizards academies.
I'm not saying there's not wizard academies. They're all over the place. It's the altruistic that I'm questioning.
Yeah, like, the stories are, like, good stories about, like, little boys that grow up to be powerful wizards and they change the world for the better. You never seen these stories, mate, have you?
No. So,
by, like, prolific authors like Neil Elfman.
I didn't have those when I was younger.
Fair.
Anyway. So I guess the next question, team, is: do we want to finish that contract for the ship that is now the Malena? Do we want to investigate and take this to them, or what do we want to do with
it? I just want
it?
it off my ship.
Well, it's not on the ship right now. It's hiding in a warehouse somewhere. But
you know what I mean.
I know what you mean.
This is what I want to do. I want to do a job for either Johnny or the Moon Queen here. Get some money in our coffers. Then, once we feel like we can keep our crew paid and our bellies filled, we can deal with the big circle. And if we need to vet these buyers, I'm for vetting the buyers. We can go in there and find out who they are before we sell it to them.
Sell it to the queen. Could possibly go wrong.
That might be a good idea.
It's actually not a terrible idea.
Not a terrible idea to give it to the queen and she can, like, chop it up into little pieces and stuff. Either that or, turn the moon into an evil hellscape. But, I don't think she'll do that.
Dark Side of the Moon doesn't seem their style.
No.
Came from the Astramundi cluster.
Ooh.
That means
How'd
something.
they get out?
Yeah.
I've heard legends of that place, but it's one of those one-way systems. You go in, but nobody ever comes out.
Actually, we served Dwoomer Barathoid, who was the king of Berakaza. I'm guessing on these pronunciations. I have absolutely no idea. The king of Berakaza. And there are ways in and out. It's in a. I think what you're thinking of is because it's in a crystal sphere. I don't even know if the crystal sphere still exists exactly like they used to. But I'm going to say
Point
they
of
do
order out of
'cause I like
character.
them.
Point of order out of character.
Yes.
At this point, are we using crystal spheres and phlogiston, or are we using
The
wild
Astral
space
Sea.
systems and astral sea, or some
I'm gonna
weird
say that-
combination?
I'm going to say that's mostly going to be the new stuff, but there's some old stuff that I wrote in originally before I knew about the new stuff that I didn't really rewrite for the new stuff. So I'm going to say that they won't say crystal sphere, but Barracuda is a still celestial body in orbit. Oh, excuse me. Around the system of the crystal knows the Astramundi cluster. So the Astramundi cluster still exists, but it's just we're not using the spheres, so you just get there through the astral sea.
But the Astromundi cluster was a sealed sphere that you could get into, but you can't get out of unless you're in like a living ship.
And yet here we are. So I'm going to say that once
So this is just why I'm trying to clarify, right? Before we
this was something, and since we're out of character for the moment, this is something I was going to toy with. I never actually talked to y'all out of character. I've seen a lot of DMs have talked about the idea of saying that the phlogiston used to exist, but now is gone. Something has replaced it. Weird access into the astral sea, and there's like a mystery that has yet to be solved. Like what happened? What was the change? And I like it, and I kind of want to go with that if everyone's cool with it. I think that Keith is probably the only one who actually knows what I'm talking about. So maybe Corey.
May I offer a suggestion that kind of bridges it slightly?
Sure. I hold on. My knowledge of Spelljammer is extremely limited. I've never read a Spelljammer book. I played Spelljammer one time before when I was, I want to say 16. It's been a tick since I played this, so I don't know anything. Assume I know nothing.
It's
All
my
right,
first time.
Cool.
So the suggestion that I would have, Howard, would be to keep the shells of the crystal spheres on at least some of this systems, Astromundi definitely being one of them. But it opens into astral, like you go through the crystal shell, and it goes to astral rather than phlogiston.
I'm fine with that. All right, so all of your characters will be aware of this. It would be common knowledge for people that travel through space. There used to be a weird like ether between worlds, not like between Toril and Saloon, but like is when you travel into deep space and go from one solar system to another, that space was covered by traveling through this weird stuff, this ether, this ethereal stuff called the phlogiston. And as you did, you need to know things like that it was flammable, which is weird. Don't think about the physics about it too much, because if it's everywhere and you light a part of it, that blows you up, not all of it. Because logically, if I throw fire into oil, all of the oil would light up, not just the area near where the fire started. So I don't understand the physics of it. No one ever did. It was all very fun.
Wibbly wobbly.
Yes, exactly.
A candle could create a one-die fireball.
It could. But at some point in the last 20 years, that stuff is gone. And now when you are in a ship, in a spelljamming ship, and you are in charge of the helm, and you are traveling your ship from one place to another. You still invest your spells into it. You still go, but now you're traveling through what's called the astral sea, and your thoughts are forcing your ship forward. And it's like you took a quick trip to the astral realm and then back to where you wanted to be. So you could go from Greyhawk to Forgotten Realms, which would be Orth to Toril.
And whatever crystal spheres are, the only thing I know what a crystal sphere is like the ancient Greek cosmology, where the flat Earth was domed with crystal spheres, and every planet was on it.
You're close.
That's what it was based off of, actually. Yes.
Yeah.
But so in the original Spelljammer, each system, each solar system or whichever, was within one of these spheres, and these spheres bob like bubbles in a carbonated beverage within the phlogiston. But now the phlogiston is gone, and the systems seem to be, many of them still within these spheres, within the astral realm, the astral sea instead. So you open a gateway from one side of the system, from being inside of it, through the shell, and then you're out in the astral sea.
So each campaign world had a big crystal sphere around it.
Right. Okay.
So
sounds good.
All right, so back in character. Yeah, she did share the name of the cluster that they are from, and I think, did I type the name of the king? Because I didn't want to interrupt your role play, but I want to put it in there.
You can type it.
Hesketh would have said that the dwarves ran the ship. Came from the Astromundi cluster.
Okay. Yeah. Then they let me find it. Here it is. They served Doomer Barathold, and that is he was the king of Baracuza and one of the four kings who nominally ruled all of the Astromundi cluster for the dwarves, anyway. And that is where they were headed back.
Okay. Great. So we have a couple leads. We just have to wait to see if the queen responds. If she doesn't respond, we go back to Brawl. We talk to Johnny. If he doesn't have a job, then we can go do this Astromundi thing. So we have 3 things on our docket.
There's no Astromundi thing unless you just want to go there and see if you can sell the thing, because that's all they said they were going to do, was sell it to get their money.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's a source of income.
You can sell it you can sell this gate that you're so worried about to get money. Yes.
But we want to
finish that contract. It takes the axe from hanging over the Nomus and Hesketh's head.
However, a quick reminder of how this started was you guys were on a ship that was a privateer ship, which is basically a pirate ship that is somewhat legal, as they have some paperwork saying we can operate here. And you were given an assignment to go find this missing ship and recover its cargo. So somebody knew about this ship and its cargo and wanted that stuff back, and it wasn't the king of the Astromundi cluster.
Yes, exactly. And we need to figure out all of that mystery. It's one of the mysteries, but we also need money to pay our crew. So hopefully we'll get a job from either the queen or from Johnny. And I guess we'll figure that out next week.
Is it that time?
We
got another 15 minutes.
We got 15 minutes.
If you want to end early, Corey, just say I would like to end early. It's fine.
No. We got 15 minutes though. But I just wanted to know if you had anything planned, or
I am asking you what you're doing.
Waiting to see if we get a response back from the queen.
All right.
That's what I'm doing. I don't know what other people are doing. If they have any plans or...
we took a long rest, so that's lots of opportunity for her to have have gotten messages and decided if she wanted to use us.
You said you were going to be there for 24 hours. It's been 8.
Yep.
I didn't want to interrupt y'all's role play, but eventually a courier does come to the down to the pier and will approach your ship and announce himself. And it is not the guy you saw before, but it is a man wearing the tabard, but not the full armor. He's not a guard. He's a courier.
Okay.
But he has tabard with the Empress of Saloon's big picture.
What you got for
What do you
us?
call it? Sigil. There you go. Hi, I was to deliver this, and he hands over a scroll to whoever takes it. I can wait for your answer. I'll be here if that's all right with you. And then he just goes and posts up, waits. And you unroll the
Okay.
scroll. I'm assuming I'll open the scroll.
Yeah.
She is letting you know that you have some options. If you are in need of cash and would like a job that pays well, she does have an issue with some people that are supporting a revolution amongst her people. And she's not asking you to get directly involved because that would be bad for her politically. However, she knows where their supply lines are, and if their supply line was to be disrupted, that would save her a lot of time and hassle, and she could easily pay you. That you can get paid 1,000 gold to go just stop some ships that are coming this way, and more information can be given if you're interested. Beyond that, she doesn't have anything major right now that requires your attentions, but she does appreciate you checking in. And if you can't do it, don't worry about it. She can get someone to do it. But if you need the gold, she would be happy to pay you. So you decide.
Do we want to be paid pirates, guys?
I was hoping we could get like another like adventuring gig, you know?
I mean,
know
take
how
down
I-
some supply ships. We get their cargo and 1,000 gold from the Queen.
Yeah, there's nothing in there about the cargo. So whatever happens to the cargo happened to the cargo.
If that's what everybody else wants to do, I'll go along with it. But I'm much more happy to get a job where we can like go to an evil castle in the stars and get the magic goblet from it or whatnot.
Oh, that can be done after,
The
too.
chalice with the palace.
Yeah, the palace with the chalice. Exactly.
All right.
Sounds kind of callous, but
So what is y'all's plan then? Do the mission, go back to the Rock and Brawl, get the
Yeah,
rest of your
Tink-
crew, do something else.
Adora, what do you want to do?
Oh, you have, by the way, Novus and Hesketh. They are both fine, so
Mhm.
that we're clear, in case I didn't make that clear earlier. I think I did, but I wasn't sure.
I mean, what kind of
do
jobs
they
does
have
Novus?
opinions?
Yeah, what kind of jobs do they want on this ship?
Novus and Hesketh?
Yeah,
Yeah. What are their opinions?
Oh, they were in charge of running they ran the two machines, and they go over and they see if there's only one machine now. But there were two of these originally, and we ran them, and they gave us we used them to print maps, star charts, and we were able to navigate things faster and better than everyone else. We're navigators.
cartographers. Got it.
Yes, that too. Although they don't know anything about why those machines would now be, why one is missing and the other one is printing devil contracts. That's news.
Right. I think Dell don't like that machine though.
Yeah, I don't like the idea.
Druids do hate machinery. That is something we are familiar with, especially though with all the metal.
I'm more concerned with it being, in essence, an elder brain,
What now?
and like the Elithids use.
Oh, there shouldn't be any squids in there.
Open up
They
the
open
panel.
They
Open up the
open a side panel.
yeah. Open up the panel. See if there's brains in there or anything.
When it was described what a computer is or does, it sounded far too much like it had an intelligence and a brain of its own, and that can cause some problems for us.
You're not
especially if it was
enslaving-
influenced by that shadow realm.
Yeah, you're not enslaving some sort of like
They are working
warforged.
together, so they have advantage as they look this thing over.
There's not like a warforged brain in there or something like that.
Okay. Oh, that's not advantage. That is 2d20. That's not what I meant to do. I'm like, wow, they're rolling really well. No, let me try that again.
17. It's a 17, mate.
Or 23. But actual 23. So they work together and they look through it and they're like, this machine has been changed. There is an additional. Okay, there is something fleshy in here. They start to like kind of back away. Well, Hesketh backs away. Nomus like pulls out one of his tools and he reaches in and he immediately pokes it. And
Of course
that
he does. This is why I
is
like
where we
him.
will end this game.
Right.
Okay.
It's whatever it is. It was sleeping behind the fridge eating Cheetos.
It's the stowaway.
Yeah.
It's a fleshy blob inside of a machine who is also eating Cheetos behind the fridge. That is the only logical answer. All plots are one plot.
This is why I'm the captain.
All right.
Okay. Hey, if you watch this far, like, subscribe, comment. Can you do that? That's a thing. Click a bell. Watch again next week. All the things. Do all the things. We really appreciate
Poke
it.
the squishy things.
Reach out and tell us how much you love us.
That'd be nice too.
Yeah.
We'd love that.
Sarah and Brenna and Keith and Corey and myself, I'm Howard. Thank you very much for watching. We appreciate it. And be sure and tune in to Dead Unicorn next week. Or also, we do a thing on Wednesdays and Saturdays. I don't know what those are. I'm not in them. Oh, wait, I'm in one of them. I lied. Anyway, good night.
Good night.
Good night.